All right, guys, so we just completed our first homebrew project, delivered Overwatch to Pinball Expo, had a lot of fun with it, and we decided to make our second homebrew. And this time we're going to start with this Homebrew Loot Crate that Marco's offering. We saw this first at Expo, had a quick peek at some of the components of it, seemed like really well thought out. I know Marco worked with Ernie Silverberg, who's really leader in the homebrew community right now, helping folks get started, find their ways. So I'm sure a lot of thought went into this. So I just finished unboxing it, and I'm just gonna show you guys the components of it. It cost about 200 bucks, and as you'll see, I think it's well worth the value if you were to buy these pieces individually. So to start with, there's a bunch of plastic ramps on the top of the box. So this is a left ramp from the Stern Star Trek machine. So it's a piece of a ramp, but there's a wire form that comes with that. Here is a complete ramp, right ramp from a Star Wars Pro. So that's a massive ramp you could use, or you could cut down to size if you wanted. This is a left ramp from a KISS machine. So this is where the ramp flap would go, and there's some ramp flaps in the box, come around to a wire form. And again, there are several wire forms included in the kit. And this is another sort of monster ramp that you could use in full because it's beautiful, well-designed ramp here that goes for the Stern Iron Man machine by John Borg. Comes around here, back to the right in lane. It's got cutouts for the flashers, or again, you could kind of cut this into pieces as you need for your homebrew. So then we got some spacers, and then we got some metal. So here's the first wire form. This is the right wire form from a Stern Star Trek. So this is from like the premium LEs. It's got this kind of genericized inputs here that you could stick into any of these ramps that the kit came with. This is a beautiful wire form that feeds a right ramp on an Aerosmith LE. Again, can be used alongside any of those ramps. And this is actually a Stern Star Trek Premium LE left ramp wire form. So this actually goes with this one here. And I actually think we're going to use that as one of the left ramps on our homebrew. And we're going to add a little vuck here that spits the ball onto the wire form, just like in the game. I thought that was a kind of cool component. This circular wire form comes from the Stern Jurassic Park machine. So that's, if you hit the right ramp in that game, I believe it feeds this, and that drops the ball down to the right flipper for that kind of inner orbit shot, which is really fun. Then we've got a couple giant bags of wiring harnesses. These probably more focused on power, and these on switches. And you could either use them as is, or probably might need to modify some of them for your homebrew purposes, depending on what components you're using, but certainly will give you a start. We got some of the tubing that you could use to snake all your wiring through the cabinet head. Okay, then we got a bunch of metal at the bottom here. So here's a really awesome metal 180 ramp. This is from the Munsters machine, and I'm hoping we can use this to feed our upper playfield that we're going to put in our machine. We'll have to modify that a little bit. We've got a left ramp from a Batman 66. This feeds a wire form. Again, you could easily connect it to any of the wire forms you have there. And then this is a subway system. Actually, I think it's from Rush. So you hit the scoop, subway brings the ball around, and then you could add anything there. You could add a vuck, another subway connector that brings it somewhere else in the game. So that's really nice, really helpful. Otherwise, you got to 3D print these things on your own. And then we've got just tons of variations of sizes and shapes of ball guides that you could use to just generate the broad shape of your kit, of your homebrew. So that's the crux of it. There's also this goodie bag that comes with all kinds of parts that you'll need, nuts, bolts, ramp flaps, a couple of solenoids for flippers, I presume, a couple shooter lane metals. So, all in all, I'd have to say that this is separately at least $500 worth of materials to get you started for the price of just about $200. So I think it's well worth it, and hope this was helpful.